I'm Mrs. Renee from Creative World Art Center. Usually we come into your classrooms to have an art class, but since we're all still stuck at home, I'm coming to you with another video so you can still be creative and make some art. Today we're going to be making a yarn painting, and when you're all done, it might look something like this. The materials that you're going to need for today are a piece of construction paper, a pair of scissors, some yarn, and a couple different colors if you have it, a dark colored pencil or a crayon, and some white school glue. The first thing you're going to need to do is to draw a very simple design. So I think I'm going to start by drawing a rain cloud since it's raining here today. So I'm going to draw a nice fluffy cloud. And then I'm going to draw some raindrops. I just want something just really simple. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to add some patterns inside of those shapes. So you can do this by adding polka dots or adding stripes. I'm just going to add some lines inside the shapes of my cloud and my raindrops. So I'm just going to keep going until I fill up all of this cloud shape. And also inside of my raindrops. The more patterns you add, the cooler your yarn painting will be. Like so. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to fill up my cloud. I think I'm done. So next what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to use my white school glue and simply draw over the lines I just made. And I'm just going to do a little bit of glue. I don't really need a lot, but I'm going to trace with the glue over the lines that I just drew. I'm just going to do one shape at a time because I don't want my glue to dry while I'm laying down my yarn. Alright, so I'm going to grab my white yarn and I'm going to start with the end. And I'm just going to simply place it over the glue and gently pat it down. And I'm going to follow that line of glue all the way around. Covering all of that glue with my yarn. And this is a really great way to use up any yarn scraps you might have left over from a knitting project or a crochet project. You can also do this with ribbon or scraps of fabric. Even scraps of an old t-shirt will work very well. Alright, so when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and trim that. I'm going to cut my yarn. And then I'm going to kind of wiggle that yarn into place in a couple areas. Just make sure it's where I want it to be. Trim a little bit more off over here. Okay. So next I'm going to move on and show you how to do a raindrop. So it's the same idea. You're going to take your glue and you're just going to trace over that line that you made with your colored pencil. And you're going to, I'm going to do blue this time. Since I did white for the cloud, I'm going to do blue for a raindrop. So I'm going to take my end and just gently pat it down over the top of my glue. And then I'm going to trim it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the inside of the raindrop as well. So I'm going to take my Elmer's glue. I'm just going to go right on that line that I made before. I'm going to take my yarn, pat it down over that glue. I can trim it off and then wiggle it around until it's right where I want it to be. So I'm just going to touch it up a little bit, kind of wiggle around the yarn in a couple of places. But if you keep at it, you might have something that looks like this. Or for something totally different, you might have something that looks like this. Thanks for tuning in and making a yarn painting with me today. I'd love to see your projects. If you can take a picture and email it to info@cw-arts.org, we would love to see your final projects. If you want to participate in more art classes, you can sign up for live online classes on our website at cw-arts.org. I'm so glad you're being creative at home. Keep making art, and we'll see you soon.